How do, ladies and gents? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my Kawasaki VN900 motorbike bobber project, or if you're Canadian or American, Vulcan 900 motorcycle, aka Midnight. So Midnight has moved further forward since the previous video, which will be in the top right hand corner now. Please go have a watch. But I just wanted to put a little clip in prior to the video just to say that I don't believe it is going to be finished and out on the road during this episode, because I am saying that throughout this, but I just wanted to say it might not happen due to paint, funds and time. I'm going to push as hard as I can to, but just bear that in mind, guys. So I hope you enjoy the episode. See you in a bit. How do, ladies and gents, and welcome back to the channel, and we are back again on Midnight. Oh, ice cream! I remember back in the day when these used to be 99p and they were called 99. £2.50. Just don't tell the missus. So, update guys. New tyre is now on and balanced and we are all good. We also have the VN900 or Vulcan 900 if you're American. Haynes manual, so I can do all the torque settings. So first things first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that rear tyre on because I don't want it to be on the jack all the time, because as you saw in the previous video... No! Yes, that. That she fell off. So if I can put the rear wheel on, I can then take that out and I can put it on the stand and I can have it that way. So I'll be a lot more happier doing that. So we're going to do that first after I finish this, and then I'm going to torque up the bolts in here, which I've literally just done very, very tight, but I don't reckon I've got them to the correct torque setting. So we'll see, but at least we're moving forward. I love it with this wheel on. It looks so sharp, it really does. It should have come standard with it. So the one thing I have noticed is, obviously I'm hoping it's not going to be too far from the front, because if you see that I've set it up on the third from the front on the both sides, but if that is the case, we are getting very close to this. So unless I need to trim this back across here, which wouldn't be much of a problem anyway, because I'm going to get, or I've got the rear mudguard that will cover some of it, and I think it attaches to that bolt there, but we will see. And I've just made a big problem already. Ha ha. I didn't put the belt on. School error. There we go, belt on. It was a pig, actually. 5-minute thing you'd normally think, but no, not happening. There we go, now I'm happy she's on a stand. I didn't want to leave her on that just because of the fact of, I can just imagine the jack's going to go down over time, and yeah, I'd just rather it being on its stand like that, and I know there's going to be no issues. So now it is the waiting game for me, not for you, but it is waiting for paint for all the bits on the engine. So I don't have the things painted as of yet, but what I can do is I can prep things ready for all that stuff to go on. So for the rear mudguard or fender if you're American, to fit that you've got to cut this back. So all I've got to do is cut across this top bolt, straight across it and around, and sort of because otherwise this gets in the way. As you might have seen it a bit earlier on, I thought it was actually mounted to this. It's not. There's a bracket that goes underneath the seat area, but this needs to be trimmed out of the way, otherwise it won't fit. So let's do that. There we are, wheels back on, brackets now back in, or cover, guard, whatever you call it. So this is the new piece. You can imagine that sits there, and with that being there, there's no way it could, well, this wouldn't be too much of a problem. It's the guard, so the rear mud guard or fender if you're American. As it's not running the same tyre, I've got to see if this will fit, and basically I'm hoping, because what I wanted to do is there is probably about ½ an inch to an inch each side clearance, or overhang, sorry, of the tyre. So I've got to see if this will actually work. If not, I need to have it cut down the centre and lengthened, which I know someone who can do that, but I'm hoping, I wouldn't mind actually to keep it like this and have the tyre slightly overhang, a little bit different, but I want to see obviously what it'll look like. So there she is, it is on, and I had a funny idea I'd have this problem, because like I said, this is a 230 tyre and this mudguard is supposed to take a 180. So that is all the way back, and it does spin freely. Just if I move that forward, it touches along all that. So this, as I thought, is going to have to be cut through the middle and widened out
to accommodate for the 230 tyre. So I'm really glad that I did actually put that on and test it. So these bars here are gonna have to be bent or shortened or remade, and like I say, that's gonna have to be cut, bigger piece put in, welded up and done. So guys, it's payday and I've ordered a new fender for the rear end, which will be coming in the next couple of days. It has now been probably about a week or so since the last bit you saw, but I got these, the new handlebars and risers. Now I've gone for a set of 14-inch ape hangers and I cannot wait to put them on. So before I put the bars on, I've got to put the actual risers on. Now this is a funny thing, when I was actually, because I held off for quite some time before buying these, and the risers were in my eBay basket, and funny enough, which was an absolute result, as I left them so long, they went down in price. And there we go guys, the bars are now fully on and ready. So I've tried to test fit it by sitting wherever I think I roughly would be on there to get the bars the way I want them. Like I say, it looks absolutely fantastic. Love it, absolutely love it. Now the reason I've got the bars on and everything like that is because the rear mudguard that I've just ordered, I have to send it to the shop that I used originally that diagnosed the bike from back previous video. If you haven't seen that, top right hand corner now, because the chap that was going to do the rear mudguard for me can't do it, so I'm taking it over to this bike place that I've used. Absolutely fantastic, close to me as well. And that is the thing, when it comes to bikes, you always want to find someone that you are absolutely happy with, because obviously your bike's your pride and joy, and especially even with cars, it's trying to find the right place. I found mine, they're absolutely brilliant. They also do Harleys, all types of bikes, and they do sort of custom stuff as well. So I asked if they could do anything with that, and they said, yep, bring it down, or they're going to come collect it even, and they are going to get it all mounted and fit exactly how I want it. So, which is an absolute result. So next time you see this bike, it will have that bracket made for the new mudguard, which is going to be 8 inches wide, and however it's going to look. So yeah, roll on to the next clip. So unfortunately, as you can see, yes, this is the 230 tyre. I went through hell and back, basically trying to make this work, and it wouldn't do it. Literally, this has got to be, I think, 2 months after that last clip, and I've done everything I possibly can to make this 230 work with this, with obviously trying to put a bobber rear end. And I found out to try and make it work, we're talking over £600 just to make a rear mudguard work with this bike. So instead of doing that, I've just relented and I've bought the standard 180 rear tyre, and I'm going with the original bobber kit that I got from Blue Collar Bobbers in the US. Because the other issue I had was the rear seat, the seat that I wanted to use as well. I bought another one, that didn't work with it either, so I had to get Blue Collar Bobbers again to send me a seat, which was a lot more expensive than the seat I had originally bought. But even though it's more expensive, it looks absolutely amazing. It's 10 times better than the seat I had before, and it just shows that when you do buy things that are more expensive, the quality is so much in there compared to the original one, or the one I had previous, which I've sent back. So we're now on track. All the parts now are off at the paint shop, so hopefully soon, in my time anyway, we're probably talking hopefully in a couple of weeks, that will all be back, and then I can start putting the engine and everything back in with all the parts on, and we can start doing that. So now what I am going to do is I'm going to paint the calipers. There we go, all nicely painted. I think they look really, really good, to be perfectly honest. I had to bring them in because it started to rain. Typical, whenever you're doing something outside, it just decides to piss it down. So they're all now painted. It's going to take, I think it's 24 hours properly to cure. So I've used this Hammerite because the perfect thing with them, well, sorry, with Hammerite, not with them, with Hammerite is you don't need to have any sort of primer or anything down. You can literally spray it straight on. And I have used it on previous calipers before and it works really, really well. And I've chose red because obviously I want them to stand out. With it being a black bike, they are really going to stand out. So I think they're going to look really, really good. So 24 hours. And there we have it. And I think they look absolutely amazing. So that's the front one. Like I say, it's not the best. I'm not a painter, so but I think for what I've done here, it looks absolutely brilliant. So obviously with the bike front wheel like that, it stands straight out. And on the back, that one stands straight out as well. So if you look at the entire bike like that, big time. So yeah, this one looks really good as well. So yeah, I'm really happy with them. I'm not going to put the cables on at the moment. So I'm going to leave them like that rather than actually connecting obviously the brake pipes and everything, because I'll do that once I'm putting everything back together. But the engine's got to go in first. Once the engine's gone in, then I can start wiring everything up. So at least they're on and I can just literally follow it through all the way to them. So now it's just literally waiting for the bits to come for the engine. Yeah. So guys, finally, the covers and stuff are back from the paint. I'm not going to let you see it yet because I'm going to get the engine in, and like I say, this is going to be a two-person job. My partner doesn't like being on camera, so we're going to do it together. So we're literally going to shoot now to the engine being in with the covers on. Okay guys, well the engine is now in, so now you're going to have a sneak peek at the colour. And there we go. So Midnight is going to be a dark candy red, and I absolutely love it. It's taken quite some time to get that engine in and get that on so delicately, because obviously, as you can imagine, this bar here, but she is looking absolutely fantastic. The covers are not going to go on until literally most of this stuff is done, because the last thing I want to do is scratch them covers. I have got the cover for the other side. Yet again, that is going to go on after I've done the belt and everything else, so that's what we're going to crack on now. So I'm now going to put on the pulley back on, which I don't know if I said to you on my previous video, but I've had an absolute result with this bike, because this pulley is a Baron pulley, and this is one of the ones that I was going to order up to this point, and I realised I've already got one. So a Baron pulley has 2 more teeth than the original, which basically means it revs a lot lower on high speed, because the other one, supposedly it was supposed to be literally revving its nuts off at 70 mile an hour. Well, I realised only from counting this the other day that I've actually got one. So absolute result, and that saves me about 200 and something quid, plus getting it shipped over from the States, because they're the only ones that do it. No guys, that wasn't easy. It just seems like at the moment I'm trying to be so delicate with everything because I don't want anything to go wrong. I've now got to put it into gear, so I've now got to torque that bolt up. Yes! Another reason I know that's a Baron pulley that he's put in there, who previous owner has. You see all that in there? So you have to slightly grind this back because otherwise it catches on the pulley, and he's already done that. So yeah, fantastic, money saved. So guys, what we're going to do now is we are going to do the foot pegs on each side, because if you remember with this bike, this side was all bent up and damaged, so I bought a whole new front control setup. I did really want to get sort of like floor pans sort of thing, or foot pads or whatever you call them. I couldn't find any, so I've gone with this, and it wasn't that expensive. It was about 160 quid. And I've seen a lot of people use them as well, so I know they're good. So this is pretty much what we're going to be looking at. So that's one of the pegs, and it would go literally here. Like I say, they're forward controls rather than centre controls for these bikes. So yeah, it's going to be about there. The only difference is I've not ridden a cruiser yet with forward controls that actually you go up gears and down gears like you would a sports bike, like put your toe under and flick it down. I've always had heel and toe controls on my cruisers, so this one's going to be a bit different. So I'm going to do a time lapse for quite some of this, but this is going to be quite a lengthy process putting these on and building them up. So yeah, let's crack on. There we go, all on and torqued in place. Obviously it is all flimsy because it needs to attach to stuff yet, but they are on and in place, ready for all the other bits. So I'm not going to bore you with the other side. So, and there's the clutch controls done. I got to admit, that was very simple to do. There's not a lot to it, but it's just obviously trying to get it in the right position. So after a little bit of trying, which you might have seen just now, I can't put the controls on because the controls here will work fine, but my actual new grips that I've bought for these, they're too thick, so they don't fit in the grooves properly, so I can't put them on. So I'm going to need new grips. Like you see, I can't put that on. I need a longer version of that because of obviously this. The other bit that's a bit of a pain as well, I'm going to have to run the lines underneath and against the bars because obviously the bars are quite taller. So it's either that or I buy longer throttle cables. So I have moved a little bit further forward. I've put the brackets on here, which is actually for the seat, and also in the side of this, these brackets you can put the rear tail lights, which I haven't ordered yet, but I will be ordering at some point soon. So now I am going to tackle doing the wiring loom. So now it's time to put the air filter on. Now the one you might have seen I previously had was poor. It was a makeshift one, and it was horrible. So what I've done is I've just gone back to the basic standard one that you get with these bikes, which is really, really good, to be fair. There's nothing wrong with them. So the last thing I need to actually put on the bike so far is the horn, this bracket. No, sorry, that's the bracket to whatever that is. Some little cooler sensor jobby. And the cover to the brake reservoir for the foot. These are nice freshly painted bits, and the resistor, I believe is what it's called. They've come out really, really well actually. Yeah, I'm really happy with that, especially the horn. Looks a lot better than it did, and obviously the cover is powder coated. But like magic, here we go. That looks really, really good. All happy. Right, horn. Right, last thing. Boom! Also, while I was at it, I thought I'll put the left controls on, which actually, like you see, I don't need much. Just need to connect to these two connectors here. So with the 8 hangers being so big, I have had to actually go down with the bars. So this is going to be up like that at a later date. I have to put a cable tie across there. But what I'm going to do is, obviously with the cable that comes out of this, I'll cable them both together against the bars, because obviously this one needs changing as well. So yeah, that's that. Really, really good. Matches the bars greatly because obviously being gloss black. And yeah, she's coming along. Obviously I just need to put this one up on there, which I can do just for the time being, but I need to measure all that now and then order them up. And they've arrived. The new cables are here, including the front and rear braided brake hoses. So I had to extend, as you know from previous clip just a second ago, the clutch cable has been extended, the front brake hose has had to be extended, and the throttle cables have had to be extended as well. The only one that's not been is the rear brake line, but I thought while I'm at it I might as well just change it. Oh, you beauty. No, that was 15. I could have probably done maybe 13 or, well, probably 12, 10 at a push. Because if you see, I've got quite a lot of excess. But it doesn't matter because, like I say, I can do something with that. That is not an issue. That really is not an issue. So, oh well. Now it's the throttle cables. Now I went 8. Unfortunately, the battery died, but I've got the new ones in. There's a clip here you have to be quite persuasive with, because unfortunately the screw, you're just going to round it, or at least I would in my case. So, but they're on, and that's the sort of length we're going to be looking at travel. So let's fit the controller on, and then let's see what we have. So there we are. They are all on. All work absolutely fantastic. Like I say, I've gone a little bit overboard probably with the length. These ones are absolutely fine though, the throttle cables. It's the yeah, it's the clutch cable I've gone a bit OTT with, but I can figure that out by just kind of rerouting it slightly. So it's going to come under, like say here, and then I'm just going to cable tie it up against it like that, and that'll be fine. And then it will just come out a bit like that, which to be fair is not the end of the world. Yes, it is a bit much, but yeah, I'm not too worried. So guys, I've gone a little bit further ahead. I've cable tied the controls and the wires and everything up here. This one, obviously, as you know, is the clutch cable, which is uber long. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm going to do that. I can probably, hopefully, put it behind the headlight, and that'll work. I've done the fluids in the brakes, so we now got brakes, we've now got oil, and we have now got coolant. But there is one other thing I've done and tested, and it looks absolutely fantastic. It looks so sharp. Let's just take a look. Boom. The side mounted number plate. So it originally should have gone here, but I couldn't fit it there because this one is not meant for this bike. It's actually meant for a Harley. So what I have done is I've actually screwed it onto one of the holes that holds this bracket on for the seat, which is one of the holes that I would have had rear foot pegs for a passenger, but obviously I haven't got that. So either way, it looks absolutely fantastic. And one other thing, got Midnight's name written all over it. Absolutely fantastic. And also, I don't know if you know, but the registration plate you might have seen from one of my previous videos on the lovely Lotus, and obviously I wanted to keep something of that because obviously it was my childhood car. But it went onto my i30N. I sold the i30N, so it's now going on Midnight. And like I say, Midnight's going to be with me forever and a day, hopefully, unless something drastically happens where I get a Harley or an Indian or something like that, or I don't know. But it is going to stay on Midnight. But one thing I have done is I have tested the number plate. The light works, the number plate lights work, and the brake works. So I have quickly just rigged it up just to make sure that works, and it does. So guys, I've now wired in the number plate, brake light, and number plate light. So that's all done there. I've extended them slightly to give it some more room because they were very tight when I brought them up. So these two here are the indicators, which I have now got the indicators, which I'll show you in a minute. But also, we now have some new presents, which is fantastic. So I've been waiting 2 days for these. We now have the indicators, which are these ones, and I had to put some form of carbon fibre on this, so it's got the little carbon fibre backing. So got that, and we've got our new air filter. Probably got to be the easiest air filter I've ever fitted. Right, this is going to take 2 people. So let's cut back to when it's actually on. Right, well that took a hell of a lot longer than I anticipated, being absolutely gingerly with absolutely everything because I didn't want to scratch it. But it's come out absolutely fantastic. It just completely transforms it with them pipes on. Let's take a look.
she really does look fantastic. And if you remember correctly, the colour scheme I was going to go for was going to be dark green and brown, and I'm so glad I changed my mind to this. And the only reason that happened was I saw a reel on Instagram and I saw a Harley that was very bobbered like this, and it literally just changed my mind. It was a dark red, and it looked fantastic. And like I say, that now Midnight is looking absolutely brilliant. And the best bit is, I know I'm getting towards the end of this build, because if you remember correctly, this whole bench was full of parts and there's only minimal amount of stuff now. So literally all I've got to do is sort out the wiring on the where the battery is by just covering it over, making it look neat and tidy. Put the covers and everything on that are coming from the paint shop this week. Put the front and rear fenders on. Put the tank on, and then put the seat on, plus the headlight, and then that's it. She is ready for the road and for an MOT. It has been a long road, this has, but the light is so close to the end of the tunnel. Like I say, we've still got a little bit to go yet, but she's beautiful. I know she's not finished yet, but just the bike with them pipes on, it completely transforms it now, and it makes it look absolutely brilliant. All I've got to do now is I've just got to literally set that wheel up, and then we're going to wait for the other bits. So rock on to having the panels back. So guys, fantastic news. All the bits are now here, and here is one of them. So this is the guard that goes over the belt. So it's all time to put it back together. Can't wait! So guys, as you can see, exciting stuff. Headlights now on. We've now got the side panels on here, which look absolutely fantastic. They really do. I haven't put this one on yet because obviously I need to run the bike up, get it to temperature, and I'll just have to take the cover off again. But that is black, just like this one. Like I say, we've got this cover here, which I've had painted this bit gloss black as well. Oh, exciting stuff. So now comes the time which I've really been excited for, and it's putting on the front and rear fenders, and then finally that tank. Sorry guys, the camera died, but there you go, there's the finished article, and it looks absolutely brilliant. Like I say, you're not seeing the proper colour at the moment because it's dark, so I need to take it out the front, and I will do in a minute. But now it is time for the tank. Moment of truth again. So there we go guys, she is well up to temperature, the coolant is all levels of fine, so it's now just literally putting the tank on, putting the other bits on, and then finally the final bit of this is putting the seat on. So here we go guys, the final bit to the bike, which is the seat. So this is the base. I have test fitted it prior to obviously putting it on, and it fits perfectly, as you can tell from when I put these on earlier in the video. I can't believe it has finally come to this point where this bike is ready. It's quite overwhelming, to be perfectly honest, because obviously I started this I think in February this year. We're now towards the end of April, coming on September, and it is fully done. So yeah, it's absolutely brilliant, and I honestly can't wait to ride it. I'm so excited to ride this bike. So no further ado, let's get this seat on and see how she looks fully complete. Midnight in her full glory. So guys, here is the seat, and you can see that she is black with red stitching to match the bike. It is an absolutely beautiful seat, and the guys at Blue Collar Bobbers, their products are absolutely outstanding. Like I say, you pay the money, but the quality is absolutely brilliant, and that's why you pay the money. And like I say, she's going to look absolutely fantastic with this seat on. Like I say, I have test fitted it, it works lovely. So let's put the final bit on Midnight. Well guys, Midnight is now complete, and I'm so in love with this bike. Midnight looks absolutely fantastic. She's absolutely stunning. Let's take a look at her. there we have it guys, Midnight is finally complete. She is all fully back together. She runs, she rides, and she looks absolutely stunning. I am so overwhelmed on how well she has actually come out. I absolutely love this bike. So the next part is taking it for MOT and actually giving it a proper good ride, and I can't do that in this video because it's just taking way too long, but you have to stay tuned for the next one. I hope you have enjoyed this project and these videos that I've made of Midnight. And it is, like I say, I started this in February. It is now nearly September, and also summer is nearly over, so I haven't got much riding to do, but it is definitely going to be ridden this year. So like I say guys, please hit like, please hit subscribe to keep up more future content, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care guys, stay safe, see you later, ta-da.